keep your fire burning from Ignite Success. And I'm your host, Snowden McFall, professional speaker, author, trainer, and coach. Empathy is a quality that is unfortunately all too lacking in our society today. All you have to do is look at the horrible stories of the poor children of immigrants in the border situation and see the appalling lack of empathy that is going on there. And empathy is a critical skill to you as a woman and as a leader and as a professional. Because when you have empathy for others, you are able to have better conversations, better working relationships, and you are able to forge those relationships with customers and clients and improve the quality of your life and their lives. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes. It's not the same as sympathy, which means kind of feeling the same emotion that the other person is feeling, but rather having compassion and understanding where the other person is coming from. It's a key component of emotional intelligence, and women tend to be better at emotional intelligence than men. So how do you develop empathy and create this as part of your toolkit in dealing with people and living your life in a more healthy and positive manner? Well, the first step is to get curious. Become curious about other people, particularly people who are different from you, whether they're from a different culture, different church, different race, different gender, different life experience, different generation. Get curious about people. Ask questions and truly listen when you're talking to them. Really ask meaningful questions, important questions, and sit back and listen and absorb what they say. And then clarify what they've said by repeating it back to them and saying something like, I understand you're saying blah, 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 and you repeat it back, and then they can correct you. And if you don't understand something, ask more questions. Get curious, learn from them, and you'll start building stronger relationships with people who are different from you. Be aware of bias and judgment. So many times people have biases and judgments against other groups of people because they've been taught that in their families, or they heard it in their church, or they heard it in their community, and it has no bearing on reality. Life has changed so much in the last 50 years. We have so many diverse groups of people, all of whom who have value, all of whom who have something to teach you. We can all learn so much from each other when we take the time to drop our bias and when we take the time to truly listen. In the Jacksonville, Florida area, One Jacks is an excellent organization for that because it brings together different diverse groups of people, and you can learn so much in those environments. Observe others. And if you don't understand something, ask them to tell you more so that you can understand. If you're in disagreement with someone, explore it further and ask them to say more about their perspective. So at the very least, you have comprehension of why they believe what they believe. One of the best ways to develop empathy is to volunteer. I know myself when I've been at soup kitchens or worked with the homeless or helped women who are survivors of domestic violence, and you listen to their stories about trying to protect their children, or working with the homeless as they're coming off the streets, you develop enormous compassion for what they're going through, and you're able to put yourself in their shoes. When I was younger, I lived in Jamaica and taught public school there. I was one of 2 white teachers in an all-black school, and I learned so much from those children. They were amazing, loving kids, and I loved my time with them. But in their school environment, they were still doing corporal punishment, which was not something that I subscribed to. And so I had the opportunity to find out why that happened in the schools, to spend time with the kids. Often these kids had no money for milk to go with their lunches. They had no money for anything. And it widened my perspective enormously. I learned so much from that experience that I ended up doing my thesis in college on it. You can learn a great deal when you go to other cultures, and you can discover so much about other people. We are enormously blessed in America, much more so than we realize. I was drinking water this morning at early hours and realizing how parched my throat was. And I thought of all the people in the world who do not have access to clean water, and how parched their throats are on a daily basis, and how difficult that must be. Made me want to help them more. Realize that when you are expressing empathy, you're giving from your heart, you're much more likely to have compassion and offer your help. Offer assistance and ask them how they would like to be helped, and do it in a manner that is respectful to them. Practice Genshai, which is the Hindu custom of never making a person feel small. So if you're donating money to someone who is homeless, look them in the eye and smile and honor their dignity. The more we can have empathy for others, and the more we can appreciate and give others dignity and value our differences, the more we realize we're all one. So my wish for you is that you practice empathy and use that to help keep your fire burning.